Morning guys, it's Monday Motivation. I know it's been a few weeks since I've posted anything, but I thought I would take a well-earned break and spend some time with my son. And so today I'm back with you. It's the beginning of September. Some of you are going back to school if you are watching this of school age. Some of you will be starting college for the first time. Some of you will be going back to college, and some of you will be getting yourself ready for uni. And then there might be some of you out there that aren't even studying, okay? But I always see September as a fresh start for me. I've worked so many years in education that September becomes like a new year for me. So I wanted to look at the art of making mistakes. I've been having some conversations with some people, particularly somebody that I really care about, a family member. You will know who you are when you watch this. But we've been talking about making mistakes, and so this video is going to be called The Art of Making Mistakes. I really believe there is an art to it. We are meant to make mistakes. A lot of us sit there and we beat ourselves up about the mistakes that we make, but I truly do believe mistakes are meant to happen. Everybody that failed, and I just realised one of the things I've got on my wall there, many of life's failures are people who did not realise how close they were to success when they gave up. So sometimes we make mistakes and we just think, oh my God, I've messed things up completely. How could I do this? I'm so stupid. And you don't realise that that mistake that you've just made has pushed you somewhat closer, or is sometimes that mistake is trying to deter you. It is like a challenge. It is God challenging you to see how much you really want something. And if you give up at that point when you make that mistake, then you're not going to achieve the destiny that you've got. And I think it's about that. It's about pulling through. I talk about spirituality a lot, and the reason I'll call it spirituality as opposed to religion, I am not a religious person, but I am very, 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 very strongly connected to God and use the guidance that I feel He gives me on a daily basis. And one of the big things that I believe is that making mistakes is God's way of showing me that I need to maybe change direction, or I'm not doing something quite well, or sometimes making mistakes is my way of seeing that, well, actually, I was on the right path in the first place. And that's quite real to my heart right now. So today, I am going to my first day of my new job as a Year 6 teacher. Now, if you had listened to some of my videos or spoken to me roughly about 4 months ago, some of you would have heard me saying that I believe God is trying to tell me that maybe teaching isn't the industry for me. And I really believed that because of a bad situation I was in at my last workplace, and it made me doubt my destiny to teach and to inspire young people. Or maybe I thought that I can't do that within a teaching environment the way that I want to inspire young people and allow them to believe in themselves on this next level. I'm restricted within education. But lo and behold, I am going back into teaching, just in a different capacity, and I'm going into teaching primary. But I believe the mistake that I made brought me here. And I was watching a video this morning, and again, you don't have to be religious for this video to kind of mean something to you, or you don't have to be. It is from a Christian minister, Joel Osteen, spelled Osteen, and it's basically talking about looking at life as sat nav and your destiny been rerouted. So you will be going straight and it will tell you to take the next left, and for whatever reason you decide not to take that left, and you carry on going straight, or you might even decide to go right. But life doesn't then turn around and say, well, okay, you're not going to reach that final destiny now, sorry, you missed your turning, it's over. What the sat-nav does is it recalculates your route, and that's what I believe God does. And I fully believe that the more I accept the mistake and look at the lesson behind the mistake, then the more I learn from that and how I move forward. We are all meant to make mistakes. Mistakes are the biggest thing, the biggest step towards learning and bettering ourselves. So basically what I want to say to people today watching this, you may have made some mistakes. You may feel like you are making a mistake in your life right now, but do not beat yourself up about it. Take ownership of the mistake. Don't deny it. Don't pretend it's not happening. Don't sit there and pretend like whatever you lost through the mistake is not something meaningful. And sometimes we do that in order to kind of minimize the mistake in our life. Don't do that. Don't minimize it. Own it. Take complete full responsibility for it, even if it's a mistake you made because somebody else pushed you into that position. Take ownership for that. Look at the message that God is trying to send you. Look at what he is trying to teach you from that, and use that mistake to help you grow. Okay? Own the feeling that you've got. If you've made a mistake or somebody has made a mistake and caused something to happen in your life, then be angry with that person if you need to, but just don't do it for a small period of time, because the longer you take sitting in that mistake and stewing over that mistake and regretting it and beating yourself up about it, the longer it will take you to see the message that is trying to come from that mistake and the lesson that you're meant to be learning from that mistake, and that will hold you back. Okay, mistakes are a given. Even the greatest people that we might admire or look up to made mistakes, and those mistakes were God's way of rerouting them to their destiny. And I feel like I've been rerouted through some of the mistakes that I've made, and ultimately Mind Our Mentalities would not be here if I had not made a really, or what I felt was a really big mistake, and had not failed at something which I will go into within the next few weeks. It's taken me a while to get to my real story, and some of you will have heard that real story, but I felt like I failed big time. But that big time failure is what's brought me here with you guys today. So make sure that you grow from your mistakes. God has a bigger plan for you, and I'm going to leave you with a quote which is courtesy of me, and I'll start putting some of these up on Instagram for you. But the longer you live in regret, the harder it will become for you to see the lesson your mistake is trying to teach you. So don't sit there and carry on beating yourself up and living in that regret of what I've done. Look at, well, how do I now move forward? What have I learned from this mistake that I've made? And how can I ensure that I'm not in this position again? How can I ensure that I get to the other side of what I'm going through right now? I really hope you have a fantastic week and a really positive day, and I look forward to speaking to you all again soon. Take care. Bye.